Hey everybody, how's it going? And welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So yesterday I did a video talking about the worst state in the entire country for the 2A, the state with the highest number of gun control laws on the books. If you haven't seen that video yet, I'll put a link to it down below. Definitely click on that because it is very eye-opening. Now, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, a little bell notification to let you know when new videos come out, and a thumbs up is always appreciated. Now, in the comment section of that video, I had people saying, well, if that's the worst state for the 2A, what's the best state for the 2A? So I decided to do my research and try and narrow it down to my top 5 best states for the Second Amendment in this country. Now, I gotta say, it was pretty close, especially now that in 2023, over half the country has constitutional carry, and it seems to be swinging in our favor. But still, I narrowed it down using research from GNA, using research from the USCCA, and the NSSF. So that's what we're gonna talk about today, the top 5 best states for the 2A. The channel is proud to be sponsored by the USCCA, which is absolutely the best membership you could ever have in your wallet. With your membership, you get things like self-defense, liability, insurance. They also have online training and education so that you know how to react during a self-defense scenario and what to do after a self-defense scenario. They have a 24/7 emergency call center, so if something does happen, you call the number on the back of your card. They get somebody out there to represent you and to speak for you. Check it out with the link below. Let's get to it. Okay, so I'm not going to waste your time. We're going to start off with the best state for the Second Amendment in the entire country based on my research and my own personal opinion. Now, I got to say that all of the states in my top 5 have constitutional carry. That was kind of like a minimum requirement now that over half of the country has constitutional carry. So if you don't have constitutional carry, there's still some work to do. But the state that I think is the best for the Second Amendment in the entire country is going to be Alabama. Okay, so why did I choose Alabama? Well, to be honest with you, Alabama was the only easy choice that I made. After doing my research, I found out how pro-Second Amendment and Second Amendment friendly that state actually is. Yes, they have constitutional carry, but they also have the fewest number of gun control laws on the books, basically the bare minimum. They don't restrict your right to purchase, your right to possess, your right to have things like magazines. There's no waiting periods. I mean, there's very few restrictions whatsoever, but at the same time, they also protect your right to use. And what I mean by that is they protect your right to defend yourself, which I think is nice and a lot of other states could learn from. But Alabama also takes it a step further. The state of Alabama actually passed a law that protects its citizens from federal overreach when it comes to their Second Amendment rights. So if the federal government passes a law that is unconstitutional and infringes on people's Second Amendment rights, the state of Alabama will not enforce it in the state. They will also not allow law enforcement or localities to help the federal government enforce those unconstitutional laws. So not only do they have very few laws and they just allow you to be free, but at the same time, they protect you from the federal government and federal overreach when it comes to your Second Amendment rights. That is fantastic. That is something you need to see in a lot more states. Now, the next 4 states I have on my list are also very friendly to the Second Amendment. They all have the same things in common. Very few restrictions whatsoever, constitutional carry, and seem to have a pro-Second Amendment state government. These last 4 states, which might surprise you, there's a couple that I left off on purpose, and that's because I feel like, with the change in politics and people moving in from other states, from the East Coast and the West Coast, kind of changing things, we could see some shifts in those states in 2023. But the 4 states that I have that are the most Second Amendment friendly are going to be Arkansas, Alaska, Montana, and Idaho. Now, I don't really need to elaborate too much on those last 4 states because, again, they're all very similar. They have very few restrictions on your right to keep, use, carry, possess. They're very free states, so to speak. There are other states that I consider for the list, like Texas and Arizona, that are also very pro-Second Amendment, but I feel like the demographics are somewhat changing in those states. You have a lot of people moving in from the East Coast and the West Coast that have different ideas about things and different ideas about freedom, and it could be changing what we're going to see in those states in 2023, and I feel like those top 4 are a little bit more solid. Those are states that seem to not have much movement from red to purple or free to not free. Now, there really are a lot of states out there right now that are taking a more pro-Second Amendment stance. Other states that I would consider would be like Tennessee and Wyoming. Those are also very pro-Second Amendment states. But again, if I had to pick my top 5, it would have to be Alabama, Arkansas, Idaho, Montana, and Alaska. To me, those are probably the freest states in the entire country. Now, you might agree, you might disagree. That's what the comment section is there for. So feel free to leave your comment and leave your opinion down below. I want to thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, and you guys have a great day.